while the enrollment problems continue, we are also seeing a series of new reports raising worries about patient access to doctors under Obamacare. We told you about some of this last night. Some doctors are now saying they don't want to and cannot even afford to participate in these new healthcare exchanges. Dr. Theodore Mazer is an ear, nose, and throat doctor in California and one of the physicians who has expressed some concern. First of all, doctor, what can we do about this throat eye? No, just kidding. I know you're not on the clock right now. All right, here's my real question to you. What specifically is the beef out in California about the reimbursement that leads you to say doctors don't want to join these exchanges?
I wouldn't say it's a beef. What I would say is that people have to make a decision now whether to participate in these exchange plans. When the exchanges offered participation earlier this year, they just said, would you participate, with no details? And a lot of doctors were very skeptical about what that mean as far as the viability of their practice. We train to take care of patients. That's the bottom line here. But in order to take care of patients, you have to be able to keep your doors open, pay your overhead, pay your staff. When we're offered rates through the exchanges that don't cover that expense, that means that not only can't we see these new patients, we can't stay open for the patients we're currently taking care of. We train to take care of all patients, whether they're going to be exchange patients, they're going to be Medicaid patients, they're going to be commercial patients. The exchanges have not been as open as they should have been, and we're trying to work here in California with Covered California to get that transparency so that we know as physicians, can we participate? Patients should be getting accurate information, and they're not.
And I apologize to the viewers for this. We're having some technical difficulties with your studio. Seems to be resolved now, and for the random full screen of Barack Obama and his uncle. Okay, but here, let's get specific, because I understand that you gave an example about Medicare paying about $76 for return office visits for Medicare patients. So if they have to go back for a follow-up, they get about 76 bucks. But in California, the Medicare reimbursement is much lower.
No, that was actually a misstatement in the original language put out by the examiner today. What I was trying to explain to them is that in my area of California, in San Diego, Medicare pays a roughly $76 for a return office visit.
Okay.
Medi-Cal, the Medicaid program, pays $24. And the exchanges are offering payments someplace in between those two numbers, and in some cases pretty close to the Medi-Cal number. The reality is $24 doesn't cover the cost of taking care of a patient. That's why there's problems getting doctors taking care of Medicaid patients in California. We cannot have the exchanges offering such low rates for patients who are moving out of the PPO market or the other individual markets that they've been squeezed out of.
There's not an incentive for the doctors to participate. So what will happen then for those Californians who find themselves with no choice but to join a program under the exchange?
Well, we're dealing with what's called narrow networking, and it's coming about because the physician's making a decision whether or not to participate, and by plans only contracting with a smaller number of doctors for some of the exchange products. If you put enough people in those plans and you don't have enough doctors participating, you end up with a bottleneck, which means you're not doing what this was all about, improving access to care.
Last question for you. Covered California claims that they have over 60,000 unique physicians available through the Covered California plans. Do you buy that number?
I really don't. And we've been trying here at California Medical Association to understand those numbers. I can tell you in my community, I can't find a specialist yet who has actually signed up with any of these contracts. Some of the plans, for instance, Blue Shield, are accessing us under our PPO contracts when we did not sign up with the exchange product.
Right.
That may be where some of those numbers are coming from, but it's not as broad as they're broadcasting.
All right, Doc, stick around. I'm going to come back to you during the commercial break, and we're going to fix this throat by the B block. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Coming up.